What's up, you guys? So today we're going to shoot a little video on setting a Wilo Maxo to constant pressure. So I always like to do a factory reset when I come across a Wilo pump for obvious reasons. You don't know who's been pushing what and what buttons or what settings might be hanging there. So if you start with a clean slate, you know where you're coming from. So push your little magic wheel here, roll down to the circle icon, click on it. Factory setting is what we want. Factory setting, confirm, and it always tells you in the margin here what it's doing. So here we go. We're gonna click that. It'll go into a reboot mode, which only takes a minute. And of course, you know you're starting with a clean slate then. Just good practice. And sometimes these things glitch out like a laptop. Not often, but better safe than sorry. And then, of course, we want to start with factory settings. And then this will put the pump in dynamic adapt mode. Right there. So anyway, we want to go to constant pressure mode. So you go to your little gear, set auto control, settings assistance. Of course, there's a bunch of presets in here. You don't need those. We can just go right down to basic control modes. Basic control modes. And so we want differential pressure constant. So like I said, there's a bunch in here. Just roll your little magic wheel and click on it. And then you can actually pre-program what that starting head is. This Wilo, I'm going to try to get it up a little higher in the pump. A little higher in the pump curve. Let's go up to around, let's get around 9. Enter. All right, back out. Back to our home screen. And you can see that it's set for 9.2. And you can change this here too. If you click on their little wheel, you can turn it, hit set. And you can see what's going on over here. You can see that it'll try and get down to that head. And then, of course, that'll adjust the flow. So let's go back to our 9. Enter. All right, so now we'll let it stabilize here. It'll hunt back up to 9. And then I'll back up so you get an idea on what you got. My little hydronics trainer here. And so over on this side, I have a tree of different balance valves that I help illustrate how to do those manually. But anyway, I have my bypass closed right now. So this is 3/4 inch pipe, and it's forcing it through all the 1/2 inch pipe. All my valves are open. All right. So we're going to come back over to our pump here so we can see where it leveled out at. 9.2 feet of head is what it's set for. We're holding 9.2, 6.4 GPM. And my ultrasonic flow meter here saying that we're closer to 7. 6.4. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my bypass valve. And what you'll see is it will hold the head pressure. And of course, with the bypass valve open, the GPM is going to increase because there's less resistance through the 3/4 inch pipe, and we're still pushing at 9.5 feet. Where this would really shine is if you had your longest loop, say, and you needed your 9 feet of head to get there, but other valves were open and closing, causing differential pressure in your system, you knew that your longest loop would still be satisfied because the pump would be maintaining the 9 feet ahead. All right, let's close our valve again, and I'll show you what this is doing on the pump curve. We'll let it settle back out. Back to 9.2. Our GPM settling out. And we're going to show this on the pump curve. If you have the app, you can switch over to the app and watch it in real time on the pump curve, which I'm about to show you. All right, we're back to our app now. I'm going to do the same thing. Our bypass is still closed. And you can see where we're at on our pump curve. We're holding at our GPM here, which is like a little about between 6 and 7, right? Somewhere right in here. And our foot of head is way up here close to 10. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open our bypass valve, as I showed before, letting it go through the circulation. And you can see how it hunts to maintain its foot ahead. And of course, the GPM increases. All right, so that just makes sense. Here's our foot of head. See if I can get it all on the screen here for you. We're maintaining the 9.2. We're set for 9.2, measuring 9.2, which of course our flow goes out farther because there's less resistance through the 3/4 inch pipe. So once more, I'll close my bypass again, forcing it through all my 1/2 inch pipe. Still maintaining the 9.2 GPM, but of course the flow shuts down. This is great for a system that has 2-way valves in it, and you're trying to maintain that head pressure to accommodate your longest run. All right, guys, hope you liked this video. Stay tuned for more as I get better at them.